Hi coders, welcome back to Infinity Coders channel. Today we are looking at error where we could not resolve an artifact's error. So the artifact error could be due to many reasons, but I'll show you a simple step how to reproduce it, understand why it happens, and fix it in three simple steps. So without further ado, let's dive in. So first we can see look at here, there's an error as we said. So this one is due to you cannot find the GitHub tweet which I'm glad. So I'm trying to just use a third-party Android library and it's throwing up some errors. So the very first thing we can always categorize why this error is happening is we declared the wrong dependency. So whether this dependency exists or it did not exist, the error could happen. The second is we are missing repository like Maven Central. So most of the Android library come from Naval Central or GPAC. So we all can always go and check from the setting whether did we declare the Maven Central repository correctly. So from here you can actually see that from Google I'm using this kind of libraries, but from Maven Central I have declared. So if I put any implementation under my dependency, under my build gradle, under dependency, if I include any libraries, by right, it will able to get it from the Maven Central. So seems like all the configuration is done right. Then the third one, it could be sometimes due to network problems during the dependency download. So while it's downloading or while it download, it requires internet connection. So next, let's try to reproduce the error and see how do we fix it. So the error usually when we try to compile during the sync project of the Gradle file, we should be already seeing some kind of a warning errors, but sometimes it's very hard to sometimes it's very easy to miss it. So as we can see here, there's already an error shown here, but sometimes we could simply miss it. When we build it, we can see that there's already an error with all the process error will be thrown. So one of the thing is due to so what we can do for now is how do we fix it? First, we can go to Maven Central and then check for this library dependency, what is the version that is could be used. So in this case, I'm going to just Google, just trying to go to Maven Central. Okay, so I can go to the Maven Central, and then let's say if I click on the the library that is being used, we could check the version that is being used. So here I can see that there's 4.16.0 and 500-RC01. So it will be the versioning that I'm using. So either you can copy. So the version I'm using is 5.00. So that is the reason why the error is there. So how I can do this is I can just go and click on the glide, update my versioning that I'm using. I'm updating to this versioning that I got. So now let me sync back again. Oh, sorry, I should remove the 5.00RC1. Let me sync now again. Yeah. So now the error is gone. And if I do try to make my project, you could see that the error should. So we could actually see now it's filing without any issue. And by right, there's no more error in this use case. Next is the second way of fixing it. So let's say I do have the glide version is correct and I have all the library dependency declared correctly based on the Maven Central or from any other GitHub hosted projects, things like that. But I still have the error as we have seen before. One of the ways we can always try is, as I mentioned, we could go to the project setting and make sure we are declaring the hosted libraries correctly. So here I'm using Google, I'm using Maven Central. In some cases, if let's say some of the Git hosted projects, we could actually use Maven. We can also declare Maven and we can declare the projects that we are using inside it. So sometimes we are using HTTPS shadepack.io and then we could just declare the GitHub hosted project and then we can just sync and then rebuild back again if you are using from this particular dependency library. So that will help you to another way of fixing the dependency if you're trying to get something from the Maven side. So if let's say if there's nothing works from above solution or option one and option two, the last thing we can do is actually we can clear the Gradle cache and refresh the dependency. There's two ways for us to clean the project or refresh. You can go to the build, there's an option called clean project, or you can also run it from the command line. Or we can also refresh the dependency by either rebuilding the project, or we can click on it, which will actually rebuild the project. So we can actually click on Gradle, view, view, okay. So I'm just using command, so it's actually doing the same thing. So now I have to clean my project. You can also run it in using the following command: gradle refresh dependencies. So this will try to refresh all your dependency, and then you after you have done this, you can actually rebuild your project back, which should also help you to resolve the issue. So let's recap what we have done. So first, we can actually correct the dependency version by checking in Maven Central. Second is we can always go and update the missing repository in the setting gradle that I've shown. You can update the dependency here manually for the missing repository. And finally, clear and refresh the dependency either by using from the build UI here, or you can use the commands that I've shown: gradle clean and also gradle refresh dependency. So if you do like the video, consider subscribing to Infinity Coders channel for more coding related videos. See you in the next video.